Hi, welcome to Memory Chips Podcast. I am Ann Wyszynski, and I have a collection of potato chip bags from around the world. And every so often, I go through this collection, and a certain bag or bags will bring up memories of people, places, ideas, and I really want to share these with you. So if you please subscribe, you will never miss a bag. Happy Valentine's Day.
Hi, dear. Happy Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so I'm here with my husband, Árni, and I can't pronounce my own husband's name correctly. How do you pronounce it?
Árni.
Árni. And so since it's Valentine's Day, I wanted to talk about some things about love, namely how your first impressions of people and what you expect out of a relationship sometimes can be totally not what you expected. And I was wondering if you could introduce yourself to me as if you were trying to pick me up or impress me. Like give me your introduction that you would make.
I'm very bad at intro. I would say hi.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Árni.
Okay, and so
nice to meet you.
I think
I've never had a pickup line.
I know. I don't remember you having a pickup line, but I'm wondering. Okay, so say as you said, Árni, and if I said to you, "Oh, hi, Árni," that's an interesting accent. Where are you from?
Different places, I would say.
Okay, and namely, what different places?
Well, I'm half Icelandic, half Dutch.
Right.
And I lived in Sweden at the moment. And I was representing Finland.
Wait.
When we met,
that's true. And so you often introduce yourself to people saying you're half Icelandic, half Dutch, but maybe it would be more interesting if you would explain that you were born in the Netherlands to a Dutch mother, and then you lived in Iceland, and then you went back to the Netherlands and were raised in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
Maybe, but too many words.
Yeah, right. But I mean,
people get very confused. I used to do that, and people get confused.
Well, you can just say I'm Dutch and Icelandic, and I grew up in the Netherlands. That's not that many words.
No, but then there are many questions.
Okay. Well, one of the reasons why I'm trying to get at the fact that you grew up in the Netherlands is because today's potato chips are from the Netherlands.
Okay.
So we were visiting your family in Amsterdam, and when I collected these bags, and I got them at Albert Heijn. Wait, how do you pronounce it?
Albert Heijn.
Albert Heijn. And and the reason why they are pertinent to today's conversation is that they are mystery flavors. So I can't, they are Lay's, they're long skinny bags with Dutch flags on them, and they have it's a contest that you can win 100 or 10,000 euros per flavor if you guess what flavor of chips are in the bag. So there's 3 different ones. Then they have a number of different items on there. And then a big question mark that says, what does that say?
Raad de smaak.
What does that mean? Guess the flavor?
Guess the flavor, yes.
Yeah. So and then in the punkt part of the question mark, it says...
Win, yeah.
Is that how you say it in Dutch?
Oh. Win 10,000 euro per smaak.
10,000 euros per flavor.
Yeah.
And so... that's the mystery. It's like love. You know, when you fall in love with somebody, you're falling in love with the first impression with the bag. You get kind of an idea, but you don't really know what's what's in the bag.
Exactly.
So I wanted to let's talk about the bags first and our experience with these bags, because we were together when we collected them, and then we'll get into talking about the mystery of our mystery love.
Okay.
So the first flavor is a bag that has olives. So we don't know what it is, but it's savory.
I know what it is.
No, it's a sandwich. There's a pickle. There's Swiss cheese. There's croquettes.
Bitterballen.
What is that?
That's small ragu breaded, deep fried balls.
Okay.
They're called the bitter balls.
Okay. What makes them bitter?
Nothing. They're just hearty. They're not bitter at all.
Okay.
But
And then pearl onions.
pearl onions, yes.
And a sandwich, like a ham and cheese or something sandwich. So those are all the random foods that are around the question mark on the bag. So I can't tell if it's one of those, like it's either pickle, sandwich, bitter balls, Swiss cheese.
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. We never figured out what the flavor was supposed to be, remember?
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first flavor. The second flavor, it has on it chives, peas. So these are just pictures. The words aren't written on there. They're just pictures. Chives, peas, split pea soup with sausage. What's that?
That looks like a sausijzenbroodje.
Sausage bread?
It's the bread. It's a puffy dough meat pastry.
Yeah, and then a potato and a garlic, and it has tons of peas all over it, which I have to. You know this. This is one of the things that you found out about me later, is that I hate peas with a passion. So I would have not liked this one, although I like split pea soup, but I think there's a different kind of pea. So anyway, I hope these weren't pea flavored, but I don't think we ever figured out that flavor either.
No.
And the last one was the most interesting one, which I think we figured it out, but it's sweets. So the package is pink, and it has like rainbow hard candy, a donut with...
No, it's beschuit. It's some kind of a very fluffy cracker.
With sprinkles.
With muisjes.
What's that?
That's some kind of anise, sweet anise, what you pour on your bread. The Dutch eat very much sweets on their bread.
Yeah. And then there's a speculoos cookie, which is like cinnamon cookie. Okay. And then there's chocolate, and then there's licorice, and then there's a soft serve ice cream cone on it. And then what is that thing?
That's a bokkenpoot.
What's a bokkenpoot?
Bokkenpoot. That is it's a cookie that is, it's like a flaky cookie with mocha taste and chocolate.
Okay. So anyway, I think...
And some cream inside.
So we got, when we found these chips, remember we were with your niece, and we were like, we're going to win 10,000 euros. We were so convinced that we were going to guess the flavor and enter the contest, and we never did. But I remember sitting around and tasting it, and the closest we came, I think we decided that it was a vanilla ice cream flavor.
Probably.
I mean, it was nothing. It didn't have any speculoos flavor. It didn't have anise flavor. It didn't have licorice flavor. And you know what? We never looked it up. We never found out what these flavors were. So maybe after we record this, I'll look it up and see what they actually were. And I'll reveal what the actual flavors were at the end of the episode. Because, analogy to love and your life with your loved one being like a metaphor for a mystery bag of chips.
Okay.
Is that reaching too far?
A little.
So I wanted to talk about when we first met. One of the things that was like a mystery that I was surprised by later when we became involved with each other is that At first, I thought that you were really a very stable, like regimented type of person, only because you had 3 kids, you lived in Sweden, you had a job, you had organized, these festivals and, projects, art projects. And because you were bald and wore glasses, I thought that you were like
visual.
sort of like
I had the visual.
Yeah, you had the visual of like a dad or something.
I was very stable until I met you.
No. So anyway, but the pleasant surprise that happened when I opened up the bag of chips and we started, being together was that I didn't really think that we were going to be able to collaborate on artwork, or I didn't think that I was going to be able to. It just wasn't really a question. Like I had my collaborations with Julie and other like Turkish artists, and you were having your collaboration with Christian, and I didn't really I just thought that we would have 2 parallel like artistic careers. And I was surprised later that we actually were able to meld I think that I was surprised that we actually had a very similar sense of direction in terms of our artistic practice.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, maybe. I never gave it a lot of thought, I would say.
Yeah.
Just things happen and then
right.
you do them.
Yeah.
And it works or it doesn't work.
Well, I didn't say I gave it a lot of thought, but I gave it about as much thought as I did to like buying these potato chip bags and opening it and being like, And so anyway, so then, so that was kind of like something that was a good, delightful surprise for me to find out. But I'm wondering, from your side, what is something that you would not have suspected about your life with me after we...
that I would exercise. And that is, I hate exercise.
Not anymore. It's
background
preventative. I'm trying to prevent there from being problems.
Yeah, I'm not raised in that kind of mindset. You live, and then it's like the same I do with my cars. I drive until they break down, and then I fix it.
Right. But now you're being less selfish about it because there's 2 of us, and so driving yourself until you break down is not really fair for me if I have to end up taking care of it. It's like
I've never
it's like
ever
running out
seen
of
it
gas
that
and
way.
then giving me the car and being like, "Here, it's out of gas and the tires are flat."
Yeah, I never seen it that way, but maybe you're right. I mean, that culture is so far away from my existence, has always been.
Right, but so that's what I'm saying is that's your surprise is that. I know it's outside of your thing, but you married somebody who is a fitness instructor and an ex-circus performer who's concerned with like physical well-being and whatever. So you must have suspected that there was some element of like there was going to be some moving involved.
Of course, but not for me. For you,
you thought,
yeah, it's for me. I could just live my life and be a convenient boomer.
A convenient boomer.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well. Okay. So now. Well. So.
That's how I'm raised.
Yeah.
I'm very. How do you call it? Come from a very extreme family. Or my mother's family is all about working, and my father's family is all about partying, and.
Right.
So I'm somewhere in the middle. I have to work because then I feel good, but I also like to party. Or I liked to party a lot.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
So
so that's a balance. So, and that's what we're aiming for, right? Is a balance between the 2.
Yeah, you brought that into the equation.
Okay. That's good. That I could be of assistance.
Mm-hmm. It's confusing.
Well, so now that you have entered my world and adopted my, exercise mania. It's not just exercise for the sake of exercise. It's just to feel good. It increases your ability to do things, enjoy life. I see it as a way to not feel like shit when you're trying to do things. Like if you have goals and also one of your goals is to spend time and be like active and have fun with your partner, then if you're feeling like shit all the time, then you don't do that. Then you're crabby, you're annoying, you're sick, and the other person has to live with it. So basically, it's a gift that we give each other. But on that note, I have this book that I got that I had read about, and then I had to see it for myself, and I got it for you for Valentine's Day.
Well, thank you,
so
dear.
Can you read what it says?
Exer-Sex. By physical fitness expert Bonnie Prudden, the fantastic new fitness plan that improves your lovemaking. Exercise for sex, for love, for life, with 100 fun to follow illustrations. Okay.
So, Bonnie Prudden was a fitness pioneer who was really spearheaded the whole like school. She started the presidential physical fitness tests, all of that thing to get people to be in shape. Okay, here's I'm going to just read the back. It says, Exer-Sex, a fabulous new fitness program for men and women that will do wonders for your love life. Now experiences the full joy of sex as you learn to take proper care of your body through diet, body-to-body communication, and fun-to-follow sexercises like the pelvic tilt, the hip swing, and many, many more. Strengthen and beautify your body, counteract stress, heighten your touch sensitivity, discover how to develop muscles and control movements to become a fully skillful lover. One of the sexercises that she mentioned was the pelvic tilt. And since I teach a fitness modality that involves a lot of pelvic tilt, so I'm a level 4 certified eccentrics instructor, which is a pain relief, mobility, stability, strengthening, toning, dynamic, low impact workout that pretty much fixes everything. It fixed you, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
It's the only exercise that I can do.
You said swimming you could do.
Yeah, but swimming is more like a sport or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is just movement.
Yeah. You also like to play badminton and racquetball.
Yeah, but those are games in a way.
Yeah, but that's moving.
Yeah, I see that more as playing.
Okay, but anyway, but that's how you should. I think that's what exercise should be, more like playing. You know, like that's how you do it because it's fun. You don't do it because you have to exercise. That's boring. Anyway, so, but we were talking about the pelvic tilt, and the eccentrics is what I teach.
Tug under. Yeah,
it's tucking under. But I found that in this book there was here's what she writes in exercise 38 of Exer-Sex, pelvic tilt, supine. She says the pelvis must be strong enough to thrust downward, as in exercise 37, but it must also be strong enough to thrust upward, and this is much harder because the powerful gluteals cannot help quite so much, and the abdominals have to do most of the work. The longer you can maintain the natural backward and forward motion in an exercise, the better you can control it when it comes to the real thing. Okay, so now if you're listening, you can go ahead and try this based on my verbal descriptions. See what you come up with. Okay, lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet about 18 inches apart, keeping your shoulders and seat tight to the floor. Arch your back slightly, then forcing your spine downward, tilt your pelvis under. There are muscles inside the pelvis that need exercise too. They are called the levators, and they can be worked by consciously tightening the sphincters. In case you haven't run across that word before, a sphincter is a ring-like muscle that surrounds a passage or entrance to the body. Okay, never mind. Okay.
It's your butthole.
Yeah. Okay, so that was exercise 38, and then exercise 39 is the sphincter series, and they go through that whole thing. But my favorite part of the description of the sphincter exercises is the man who learns to control these muscles can increase the frequency of orgasm by a technique known as seminal retention.
Oh.
By tightening these muscles just as orgasm is about to begin, the amount of semen discharged at ejaculation is decreased, and he can retain enough for an extra sexual episode and climax. Jeez, extra? Who's asking for extra?
I don't know.
Okay, this is something worth the price of admission all by itself. But there's no need to elaborate on this point. I've told you what you need to know. That's what Bonnie Prudden says. The cover of the book, we should explain to the people listening. The cover of the book has a couple. The man's standing in back of the woman, and they're both wearing the same shirt. So they're not a matching shirt. They're in...
It's a triple X large.
Yeah, triple extra large shirt, and they have pulled it over both of them, so their arms are coming out of the same sleeve, and then they're just pulled a shirt over the two of them, and she's holding the book with it open, and he's gripping her hips from behind. So, okay, so you want to do that? Should we go put on a really big shirt?
We don't have a big shirt. We don't have a big shirt like that.
If we're going to Exer-Sex, we need one.
Okay.
Okay. Well, let's go do some exercises.
Oh,
okay.
Really?
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Why do the exercise when you can do the real thing?
Okay. Whether we actually ended up doing the Sexercises will remain a mystery to you, the listener. But one thing that is no longer mysterious is the potato chip bag flavors from the Dutch Lay's Guess the Flavor contest. I looked it up, and the first bag, the one with the pickles on it, was cheese souffle and chili sauce. And then the next one was something called Dutch casserole, which means nothing other than it could have potentially included all of the ingredients that were pictured on the bag. And then the third was chocolate vanilla double custard, which is close to our guess of vanilla ice cream. So now we know what's the flavor in the bag. And this revelation is somewhat unsatisfying, which leads me to remark that maybe what makes a healthy romantic relationship is to let some things remain a mystery, and also to sexercise regularly. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for listening, and if you have any questions or comments about what you heard today, please post them to the review section of your podcast player. So if you use Apple Podcasts, you click on the show thumbnail and scroll down to leave a review. And then whatever happens after that is up to you, but hopefully it's nice. You can also leave posts on Instagram at @MemoryChipsPodcast.